everybody. My name is Maria Nazarova, and I will be your moderator for today's webinar. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome you all to our international webinar, Peace Road 2020, Connecting People for Peace, organized by UPF Europe, the Middle East, and Eurasia. Today, we would like to introduce the Peace Road project, its background and vision, its significance as a worldwide peace-building project, and some reports on Peace Road programs already conducted in different parts of the world. All this will be introduced by some of its main organizers from different countries. It's a great pleasure for me to invite our first speaker to give his welcoming remarks, Dr. Katsumi Otsuka. He served as a president of the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification in Japan, as president of the Corporation for Building the Japan-Korea Tunnel, and as the leader of numerous organizations focusing on the reunification of the Korean Peninsula. He is currently the chair of the Universal Peace Federation in Europe, the Middle East, and Eurasia. Dr. Otsuka.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Peace Road webinar organized by Peace Road and the UPF Europe and the Middle East. On behalf of the organizer, I first wish to express my deep appreciation to the wonderful speakers and Peace Road writers from Korea, Japan, USA, and Russia. As you know well, the Peace Road was founded by Reverend Dr. Sam Myung-moon and his wife, Dr. Hak Ja-han Moon, for realizing the world peace by connecting the people beyond all cultural, religious, national differences. Peace Road was started by a small number of the people in the beginning, but now this project came to attract many people of the world. I'm very much excited that some of the great achievement will be shared in this program. I hope this program will help you to understand the Peace Road more. Please enjoy this webinar. Thank you very much again for your participation.
Thank you, Dr. Otsuka, for your encouraging words. Now, I would like to invite the representative of Professor Yona Moon, the chair of the Universal Peace Federation of the Republic of Korea, the vice chair of the World Peace Road Foundation, and former international president of the Women's Federation for World Peace, to give her welcoming remarks.
Distinguished readers, Ambassador for Peace, member of UPF all over the world, and ladies and gentlemen, this year marks the 100th anniversary of the birth of UPF co-founder, late Reverend Sam Myung-moon, and the Father Moon, and a few days later, September 4, where marks the 8th anniversary of Father Moon's death. Considering that the Peace Road project started in 2013 with a focus on Father Moon's vision of peace, we expect today's June webinar to be a good model for the peace movement that will be continued. Through the Peace Road project, where people around the world can communicate, cooperate, and become one through the peace vision and transcend country, race, and culture, we believe that we will extend the path of reconciliation and cooperation in Europe and the Middle East. I am confident that if the peace ambassador and leader of all sectors of society join together, as well as the participation of citizens in each country, we can overcome the current difficulty. Peace Road project will be a great model for human harmony and communication. May God's blessing be with you, your family, and your country. Thank you very much.
Thank you for deep and uplifting words. And now, the background and the vision of the Peace Road and the Peace Highway project will be presented by Dr. Thomas Walsh, chairman of the Universal Peace Federation International and chairman of the World Peace Road Foundation.
Well, thank you very much, Maria. This is a great and extremely visionary and important project. As was mentioned, it was first announced by Father and Mother Moon in 1981 at the Sejong Cultural Center at Founder's Address in Seoul of the International Conference on the Unity of the Sciences, before Nobel Prize winners in the various fields of the sciences and many international delegates. So UPF partners with World Peace Road Foundation on a global level to promote the vision of the Peace Road that brings the world together through a global system of highways, railways, bridges, and tunnels, helping create an interdependent, interconnected, and harmonious world. Just to give you kind of a visual of a lot of the thinking and strategizing, of course, a lot is going on in the background. There are efforts to create a Pan-African highway railway systems that the African Union is engaged in. And of course, for decades, going back to the 19th century to create a Pan-American highway through the Americas, North, Central, South America. And discussions even about a Bering Strait bridge or tunnel system that date back also to the 19th century. But it was in 1981 that Father Mother Moon put great emphasis on this project.
Thank you, Dr. Walsh. Let us now watch the video from Korea about their Peace Road projects in Korea.
During the height of summer, a race took off to reach the dream of peace and unification on the Korean peninsula. We have longed for the day when we tear down the barriers and ride across the peninsula without obstacles. Finally, a new journey for peace began together with young international students. Just as we dreamed, the spring of peace that began on the Korean peninsula is spreading throughout the world. The Peace Road Initiative began in 1981 as the International Peace Highway Project, which Reverend Dr. Sun Myung-moon and Dr. Hak Ja-han Moon proposed at the 10th International Conference on the Unity of the Sciences. The project vision is to resolve conflict and war and build a peaceful global community by bringing together all people as one human family through uniting the entire world. The summer of 2020 marks 70 years since the Korean War. One Korea Peace Road 2020 held the hopes of the world's citizens close to its bosom. We resolved to achieve Korean reunification and prayed for the countless soldiers who sacrificed their lives for peace. Let's march toward unification with hope. Even in the sweltering heat, we did not tire. Not even the coronavirus pandemic could stop our advancement. Local bicycle club members took the lead and cheered us on.
Let us invite Dr. Song Kwan-suk, the Vice President of UPF Korea and the President of Peace Road Korea, who has been the leading figure developing the Peace Road movement in Korea. Together with him is Ambassador Chun Tae-ik, the former Honorary President of the Korean Council of Foreign Relations.
Distinguished readers, I'm Kwang-sok Song, President of Peace Road in Korea. This year, Peace Road rally was very, very difficult because of corona pandemics. However, in Korea, Peace Road events were held successfully in 16 regions. In particularly, participated 70 young people from 14 countries, ran 800 kilometers on behalf of the 5 continents.
The highlight of bike tour was attend the ceremony at the UN cemetery in Busan, because this year is marking 70th anniversary of the Korean War. Availing this opportunity, I'd like to propose a peaceful forum. Because of the pandemic, the international community is isolated, separated. We need connection through this kind of the webinar. Webinar is a very effective means to reconnect the world for promoting peace. Thank you very much.
Let us move now to the land of the rising sun, Japan, with a report on the Peace Road and the Japan-Korea Tunnel project. Mr. Masayoshi Kajikuri, chairman of the UPF Japan, vice chair of the World Peace Road Foundation, and a board member of the International Highway Foundation. This is our next speaker.
Greeting from Japan. Let me share the beginning of Peace Road movement. In 2013, a handful youth started the Peace Bike project in Japan for Japan-Korea friendship, peaceful unification of Korean Peninsula, and world peace. This project gave a light of hope to many people in Japan. Peace Road in Japan 2020 launched with its kick-off meeting of the Central Executive Committee on June 25th. Around 200 people from 100 stations participated online, including experts from various fields such as politics, academics, and religion, as well as Prefectural Peace Road Secretariat staffs. As of August 31st, riders have toured 40 cities in Japan. Peace Road in Tokyo was July 24th, originally scheduled for the opening ceremony of Tokyo Olympics. Young members of international families of Korean, American, Thai, Ukrainian, Rwandan, and Beninese also joined, appealing an image of world peace. This movement from its inception is to realize Japan-Korea Undersea Tunnel. Dr. Son Myung-moon proposed the International Peace Highway Project at the 10th International Conference on the Unity of Science, convened in Seoul, South Korea in November 1981. The project was to make 1 kilometer each of the both sides of the highway a peace buffer zone beyond the national borders. It is the vision of Japan-Korea Undersea Tunnel that becomes the terminal of the highway. In 1982, the International Highway Construction Corporation was established in Japan. In terms of construction, the groundbreaking ceremony for an inclined shaft was made in Karatsu in 1986, followed by the ceremony in Tsushima Island in 2014. Japan-Korea Strait has 2 islands, Iki and Tsushima, and 3 routes. When the Japan-Korea Tunnel is completed, total length will be 235 kilometers, 5 times long of the Channel Tunnel between UK and France. Japan-Korea Summit meeting in 2010, the 2 governments agreed on joint project toward the new era of Japan and Korea. Then the promotion of Japan-Korea Undersea Tunnel was included as one of the 21 agendas.
Thank you, Mr. Kajikuri, for sharing about Peace Road project and about the Korea-Japan Tunnel project. Let me invite now representatives from the United States of America. It's my great pleasure to invite Dr. Michael Jenkins, who serves as the president of UPF International, president of the Washington Times Foundation, and chairman emeritus of the American Clergy Leadership Conference.
Thank you, Maria. We were inspired to do the Peace Road each year. This year was very special, though, because we decided to go to city after city with young leaders so that they could be able to experience the meaning of the International Peace Highway and also to talk with officials and young people, as well as clergy and ambassadors for peace in every city. We went to over 60 cities, and we had over 72 events in about a 21-day period. And finally, we took a bush plane to the Bering Sea on Alaska, and we were very encouraged that Alaska and Russia are not far apart, and we saw the real practicality of the bridge being built between Russia and also the United States. We look forward to that bridge also going across the DMZ. So I'd like to introduce at this time the leader of the Peace Road team that went across America, is Mr. Joshua Holmes, outstanding leader in America. Joshua.
Hello, everybody, international family, Dr. Jenkins, thank you. Our theme for this year was reconciling all people. And I want to start this with explaining a little bit of history, because if there's anything we've discovered on this trip, it's been about the essence and importance of history. And it starts with Mother Moon at Goree Island. Many of you know this story or have read her memoir and understand that on January 20th in 2018, Mother Moon went to Goree Island, the door of no return, the location where millions of slaves, the place where the most slaves went through the 15th through the 19th century, on their way to the Americas. And so we look at America now, and this was the inspiration that started Peace Road in America this year. We faced incredible protests and riots that started with George Floyd and the video of him and his neck being crushed by a white cop. And so Peace Road was established with the intention of building the International Peace Highway. And this particular time, 2020, we wanted to work on reconciling people together because there were places that either had historical pain like Goree Island or had historical victory, places that we should honor and claim victory to the history of America. And so an example of that is the first place that we went to was Port Comfort, Virginia and Jamestown, Virginia, where based on economic desire, selfish desire, the first slaves were brought over from Africa to America and sold, their lives torn apart from their families. And we took time to comfort those spirits there and to honor that history. And then on the flip side, we went to Plymouth. Plymouth is the location where the first people that were seeking religious freedom emerged in America. It was at this location that religious freedom rang, and the foundation upon the words that we now have as our Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that allowed for women's suffrage and for the freedom of African-American people and Native American people. We went to Memphis, Tennessee, where Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. There was a lady there who's been there for 32 years. And she said that this was the first event she ever saw happen at the assassination location that was about peace. When we reached the Bering Sea, we realized that this torch does not stop with America, that it needs to be carried on forward across international boundaries. So we're excited about it. We're excited about the reconciliation of all people. And I thank you all so much. God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Michael Jenkins and Reverend Joshua Holmes, for this encouraging, very inspiring words and explanation of the reconciliation tour. And let us now move to Europe and Eurasia. Allow me to invite our next speaker, Mr. Konstantin Krylov, the Secretary General of the UPF in East Europe.
Dear colleagues, thank you for joining this webinar. I'm very happy to see you all. Just last month, a team of 40 runners in the age from 7 to 85 years old covered 1,112 kilometers through Russia, starting from Moscow, Red Square, and they ran through 20 cities, welcomed by local mayors. They were on TV many times, and COVID-19 lockdown was just lifted in Russia. Therefore, this group had to still take incredible precautions on the way. Moreover, this team, headed by Sergei Supruniuk, our good friend, leading the Marathoners for Healthy Lifestyle, was awarded a special grant from the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Last year, a similar team ran from Moscow promoting prevention of drug abuse among youth. The Peace Road runners deserved great appreciation by the Government Drug Trafficking Prevention Unit. At each stop on the way, the local police had the public gathering for the group. Later, the organizers were called to the National Police headquarters and received special awards. Of course, the theme of reunification of Korea is very dear to us, especially since the founders of Peace Road, Dr. and Mrs. Moon, came from the Korean Peninsula. So last year, a team of 12 Russian runners held the Peace Road project in Pyongyang, in the capital of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. I was running there as well. And we had a bicycle project with local people joining us, and we were welcomed very warmly and were invited to come again in a bigger team, international team. Thank you for your very kind attention.
To conclude our webinar, I would like to invite Dr. Michael Balcom, who currently serves as the regional chair of the Family Federation for World Peace for Europe, the Middle East, and Eurasia. Dr. Balcom.
Hello, everybody, and good afternoon. Thank you to all of our panelists, and thank you to all those participating who helped make Peace Road 2020 such a great success. I was asking myself, why don't we have a real peace highway already? After all, it's been more than 40 years since Father Moon suggested the idea, and I think I've learned why not. The first reason is perhaps fear and lack of trust. Mother Moon has often mentioned the good example of the Channel Tunnel between Britain and France, which was completed about 25 years ago. But the idea was almost 200 years old, and in 1880, construction actually began, but stopped because of a fear that Continental armies might use the tunnel to come through to Britain. So fear of the unknown and unwillingness to trust is a major reason. The second is money, and we heard from Tom Walsh how when UPF was being launched, Father Moon commented that the cost of the Peace Road might be several $100 billion. But he also said that it would cost even more not to build the Peace Road, and how we've seen that now with trillions of dollars being spent on wars in Asia and the Middle East, more than enough money to build not only the Bering Strait Tunnel, but the tunnel between Korea and Japan, and most of the highway as well. So we can say that the cost of not investing for peace is even bigger than the cost of doing it. And the third reason, perhaps, is that we often think that peace is somebody else's responsibility, the United Nations, or our governments, or parliaments. But Mother Moon has taught us that peace starts with me. And that also means that the Peace Road starts with me as well. And in this panel, we've heard great testimonies of how young people and senior citizens alike, people from every background, have decided that the Peace Road starts with them. And if we can work together, surely we can make a big jump forward in 2021. This year has been difficult because of COVID-19, but I saw lots to have hope in that 2021 will see a big leap forward towards the road of peace. Thank you, everybody, once again for your participation.
Thank you, Dr. Balcom, and thank you to all our presenters. With this, we conclude our webinar.